listeners. I'm back. This is episode 80 of Quest for You. I hope you get something out of these episodes, and I hope that the topics we talk about, they push you a little bit. They motivate you. And maybe you've already done some things that you would have never done before. I would love if you could share them with me. Write me on my website or send me a tweet. Say hi. I would love to hear who is listening. Never stop challenging yourself. Never stop your journey by thinking, it's over, I'm stuck, I'm meant to be this way and there's no other way for me. Because there's always another way, and I hope with these past 79 episodes I have been able to show this to you in some form or another. And if you still need clarity, if you still have open questions, and if you're not clear how some of these topics we talk about apply to your life, then don't hesitate. Reach out to me. Send me a question and let's begin a dialogue. I'm here for you. So let's dive into today's topic. Your heroic journey. It's kind of an epic sounding title. Heroic journey. I wanted to share with you a beautiful story that I came across the other day. And when I heard it, I immediately thought of Quest for You, and you will see why. The story is called The Conference of the Birds, and it is a philosophical poem written about 800 years ago by Persian and Sufi thinker Attar. The poem consists of more than 4,500 lines. In the poem, the birds of the world arrange a meeting during which they have to decide who will be their king. And after all the disputes, a hoopoe, I don't know how this is pronounced, couldn't find pronunciation online, but it's spelled interestingly. There are a lot of O's in there. So after all the disputes, this bird, with all these O's in it, who was considered the wisest bird of all of them, invited them to find a legendary Simorgh to offer him this title. Again, Simorgh, I'm just going to say Simorgh. And a Simorgh is a mythical bird which resembles the phoenix. The hoopoe heads a group of birds in search of the Simorgh's home. And the journey takes them over 7 mountains and through the 7 valleys of the quest, love, understanding, independence, and detachment, unity, astonishment, and finally poverty and nothingness. And in each of these stages, there are several events by which the birds learn different lessons. And one by one, in each of these valleys, birds give up the journey, not being able to endure it. In the end, only 30 birds are left when they cross their final valley and reach the land of Simorgh. There, the only thing that they see is their own reflection in a lake, and not the mythical Simorgh. Simorgh actually, as it turns out, means 30 birds. So they begin a new life in the Simorgh and contemplate the inner world. Attar concluded the epilogue with the warning that if you wish to find the ocean of your soul, then die to all your old life and then keep silent. So I'm going to just read a few lines from this poem. There, in the Simorgh's radiant face, they saw themselves, the Simorgh of the world. With awe they gazed, and dared at last to comprehend. They were the Simorgh, and the journey's end. They see the Simorgh, at themselves they stare, and see a second Simorgh standing there. They look at both, and see the two are one, that this is that this, the goal is one. They ask, but inwardly they make no sound. The meaning of these mysteries that confound their puzzled ignorance. How is it true that we is not distinguished here from you? Quite beautiful. Since the beginning of time, people have always been fascinated by stories of heroes. Yet, there is a fundamental structure that lies beneath all these tales of fantasy. Joseph Campbell, you may have heard of him, famous mythologist, was the first to discover these similarities within them. And according to Campbell, The hero's journey, that's how he called it, has 3 major sections with 17 distinct substages. And these 3 stages are departure, initiation, and return. The first section is the separation from the hero's ordinary life, which is initiated with a call or an invitation to adventure. The second section of the journey is the initiation into the trials, challenges, and difficulties. This part of the journey entails enduring tests and trials, finding new approaches to solving the trials, and facing some kind of a major ordeal. And the third and final section is the hero's return. The hero returns to his or her former life victorious and as a changed person. There are many books and movies which have the hero's journey as a theme. The Wizard of Oz, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Moby Dick, Alice in Wonderland, Star Wars, The Hunger Games, The Matrix, and many more. And here's a quote by Joseph Campbell. The usual hero adventure begins with someone from whom something has been taken, or who feels there is something lacking in the normal experience available or permitted to the members of society. The person then takes off on a series of adventures beyond the ordinary, either to recover what has been lost or to discover some life-giving elixir. It's usually a cycle, a coming and a returning. And the Conference of the Birds is such a journey myth or hero's journey. The character of the story, in this case the birds, set out on this incredible adventure which holds nearly impossible tasks to be accomplished. And although there's always a destination to arrive at or a road where the journey ends, the real journey isn't so much about reaching a physical place. It's more about the learning and the insight that the hero gains about himself or herself. Typically, the hero overcomes fear, resolves shortcomings, and turns around negative traits. Doesn't this all sound like our regular life? I believe we all undergo the hero's journey throughout our lives, several of them in different forms. Sometimes we choose the journey, and sometimes the journey is chosen for us. Our own chosen journeys are the times when we set out to find meaning, like the birds. This may be leaving a cushy job to start a business, leaving a home to travel the world or live in another country. Any bold, risk and adventurous step we take is ultimately the beginning of a journey that will bring trials and tribulations. And then there will be the journeys that are forced upon us, the unexpected surprises life has in store for everyone. If you haven't had them, brace yourself. Your life will include some type of voyage, fraught with discomfort, struggle, and hardship. When you stumble, there lies your treasure. Another quote by Joseph Campbell. Both journeys, the one that you chose and the ones that are forced upon you, they're both crucial in building strength and resiliency, and they both will reveal your life's purpose through the lessons that you learn. What makes us a hero is by how we return. Redemption, the last phase of the journey, is the critical one. What did the birds learn? They discovered that the magic bird they were searching was non-existent. Instead, they found what they thought they needed in themselves. The tough journey was a lesson. Some birds didn't make it. That's true in life as well. Some of us never learn the lessons life teaches us. We remain stuck in old patterns and beliefs. The birds were looking for a leader, yet, in the end, they became the leader that they needed. And this is the quest for you. This is the quest we're all on. Yes, sometimes we travel very far, or we take on immense projects. We influence hundreds of people with our work. We go through a ton of pain and suffering, only to come out on the other side so much clearer, even wondering, why was this lesson so hard? The hero is inside each one of us. The journey in our life evoke our real character. Leaving one condition, overcoming challenges, and searching for your true calling. That's the journey. And each journey is an opportunity to listening to yourself, to ask yourself what you really want in life, and then going out and searching for it. The real work of our lives is to become aware and awakened, to answer the call. And it's by Oprah Winfrey. And with that, my friends, I'm leaving you for today on your hero's journey. Go out there and make it happen. Have an amazing day.